Okay, we're on. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our last thrice a week burn down. From next week, we are going to daily burn downs on 113. So I pinged the link to the minutes in the chat. Please add your attendance. And as usual, this call is being recorded and will go to YouTube right after. So please be mindful of what you say, like you always do. So let's get started. Code freeze day. Things have started getting busy, and there are a lot of PRs that are being that are pending merge, and in the tight queue, a lot of issues have been closed and are very close to getting done. So at this point, code freeze. I would say the release status looks good. I'm still thinking we are on track to do the beta one today. It's pending CI signal though. As of now, things seem stable in terms of CI signal. But as I said, there are a bunch of PRs in tight queue, and they're all waiting to merge. So we might get more updated signal as we near the end of the day. And depending on how things look at that point, we would do a fast forward and then cut a beta one. But I'm still hopeful that we could do that today after we announce code freeze. So that's, and then docs, a quick call out to the docs, release notes, and comms leads. We have most of the enhancements either in or moved out to 114. So after 5 p.m. today, the enhancement tracking sheet should be final. I'll let Kendrick comment if that's not the case. But after that, please make sure you do another pass of the enhancement sheet and update your corresponding documents so that you'll have the latest in terms of what we need to track for talks, release notes, and also blog post. So that's a quick call out there. With that, let's dive into individual sections. Is Cole there? Cole, I put test infra first because I wanted to talk quickly about code freeze. So do you have any updates there for your section?
Yeah, the PR is ready to go. Just I'll merge that at 5.
Cool.
Yeah.
I had a quick question about the merge queue status itself. I saw yesterday there was quite a few, the queue was large with a lot of pending PRs. Do we know the merge state, the average merge status right now? Like when can we expect it to drain?
Let's see, it looks like there's 7 in the queue right now based on the Velodrome graphs, and we're merging at like 30 PRs a day right now. I can link to those graphs.
Okay. And generally, I was asking even Amit yesterday about this. Is there a way we can project, like, if a PR is in the queue, like what could be, and if it passed retest as well, what's the ETA we are looking at for it to merge?
That's kind of difficult to determine because all the tests have to pass, and if there's flaky tests, then that's totally dependent on that.
Okay.
If watching the Tide dashboard, you can see what's being tested, and you can see like if the tests are passing. But that's really I think that's the best guess you can get there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just watching for a few ones that are that I'm waiting to merge as it's tracking some critical fixes. But yeah, I will track it during the day. I had one question for one of the PRs that let me quickly ping it in chat. Where is my Zoom? Yeah. So this specific one, it shows that it passed all the tests, but I wasn't able to find it in Tide this morning. I don't know if it changed now. Yeah, I don't see it in the Tide queue. But the PR status says it's ready to be merged. So I just wanted to know what's going on with this one.
It looks like it has the do not merge hold label on it. The status hasn't updated, but that's probably due to like some missed event or something. I'm not sure. I can look into that. So the status is wrong there, but it definitely has a label that's preventing it from merging.
Got it. I was just going by the status and didn't see that it still has.
Yeah, I can look into why the status is off there.
Okay, cool. And I will follow up as to why they are holding this one.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks. That's good. So yeah, I will, mostly by 5 p.m. we should be good to merge the code freeze changes, but I'll sync up with you offline if that changes.
Okay, great.
Kendrick, you want to do a quick update on the enhancements?
Yeah, sure can. So right now I've got it listed as chartreuse. That's only because I think everything's in a pretty good state. We've got two issues that are still have two tiny lingering PRs. I think that, Aisha and myself have been paying attention to those as they've been going on for the past 2 days. There's a lot of activity going on. I think we feel pretty confident that they're going to hit the 5 p.m. deadline. So we'll just be watching those. But at this point, everything's looking good. The one big one is everybody's probably well aware of by now is that Windows has been bumped out of 113. It'll probably, right now, they are having to go back and actually redo the whole KEP process for Windows. So you're going to look that's probably going to take a month and a half, maybe 2 for them to actually complete that. So they're going to target 114. We'll see if it's actually possible 114 as well. But that's sort of the big news to come out of that from 2 days ago. So everything's looking good from this perspective.
Cool. Yeah, if anybody is interested on more context on the Windows thing, there you could take a look at the SIG-ARC recording yesterday. So the status is it's dropped out of 113, and they were going to revisit the KEP process to just see what are the basic checklists of things that's needed for it to go GA. And I will be talking about this a little bit in the release retro as well, because I don't think we are, at least when a feature comes to a release, I don't think we are making sure it has a KEP, and then the KEP talks about what are the checklist of items that we should tick off for the release team to know if it's ready or not. But I think enforcing that a little bit early in the game would have given us signal about this earlier. So that's that. And CSI, which was our other big enhancement that we were tracking, that is in. They merged the move to 1.0 late yesterday night. We are still pending CI signal on that, which is the more important one. But the storage team is confident since they ran the tests and their board is green. So I'm still waiting for to get the latest on CI for this. Dogs are still pending, but we'll talk about that when we get to that section. And yeah, there are 2 open enhancements. Kendrick, the kubelet device registration, the one open PR there, I just spoke to Michelle and she tells me that though it is an important fix they're tracking, it's not a 113 blocker. So it's okay for it to go in a patch release, but she's confident she can get it in later today. So we are looking good with the enhancement side. Any questions from anybody before we quickly move on? Cool. CI signal, Maria or Martin? One of you want to give a quick update?
Sure, I can try that. Things are looking all right. We've got a couple of flaky situations. Let's have a look. So blocking was 113 blocking was cleared out earlier today, but it's now flaking a little bit in the GCCO serial. So we'll follow up on these. Other than that, the 113 upgrade and downgrade are starting slowly to clear up. And we also have a pending PR merged for the kubelet issue, which should clear out the remaining failures.
I think the kubelet one cleared out, I think.
Has it?
Yes. I saw the kubeadmin job go green. So that's looking good there.
Cool. Yep.
Yeah, I think the split of the GC upgrade in 113 branch really helped. Though all the parallel jobs passed really quickly, the serial ones are yet to pick up the change. I think it's still running from yesterday. So the new runs that start today should hopefully not time out, and we should see what if it exposes any other failures at that point. Yeah, I'm quickly looking at the dashboard once more. Yeah, the
only new things are just the little flakes on 113.
And yeah, as more PRs merge today, I'm sure it's going to destabilize a little bit. So over the weekend, once the queue drains, I think we should get a newer read that's more telling of the current status. Cool. I'm still tracking the alpha test. I just made a note of that in the minutes. The CSI alpha tests that were disabled because it had some bugs there. It's pending. The final PR is pending in Tide right now, and that one should actually, once that goes in, those tests will get re-enabled as well. So we'll have to follow up to see that they pass right now. Cool. And Josh will hopefully be back next week to track these things more closely. Thanks, Maria. Next up, issues. Nico?
Hello. So today code freeze. There are only a few critical urgent. Some of them expected to merge today. The merge queue is a bit full with the critical PRs. KubeADM just went approved right now, and ensure feature gate changes. This one fixes two issues, I think, and it's required for another PR. Just wait for a job. Let's hope it merges today. The other one, promote raw block volume. That's a bigger one.
Yes.
And yeah, it's also an API change. Should make it today. And generally, there's the whole weekend to see what merges and what not. And the filtering can happen from Monday on. I can have a look tomorrow to see the status overall, and then on the meeting Monday we can clear out what's in and what's not.
Yes. Yeah, as we discussed offline, I'm just worried those PRs that are in 113 and are marked as important soon, probably prune them out either over the weekend or at least early Monday, so that the priority doesn't get flipped into critical urgent, and then it just slips into master.
I just went through most of them. There are about 20 PRs. So some of them are CSI, some are feature related.
Yeah, I think so.
Not everything had, like only a few had critical. But yeah, it's we'll do the filtering by Monday. I think that's it should be good. So open issues. Kube volume manager incorrectly marks volume, the critical one. So this one is not a blocker, but it does have the labels to qualify. Should we leave it over today and the weekend?
I left a comment there, like if this one doesn't get resolved by 5 p.m. today, we should just move it out of 113.
Okay.
There's confirmation there saying it's not super critical for 113. It can go in a patch. So I would move it out if it doesn't get addressed by today.
Yeah. Another one, the replica set controller, Kenneth responded with next release. Did he mean 114?
Let me quickly see what it is.
Yeah, he assigned. Yeah.
Kenneth replied that it's not going to be possible in a day. So,
Okay.
I moved it out to 114 after his comment there.
It's a bit late as well. So the other ones, yeah, the same story. They're all pending either today or weekend. Yeah.
I saw a new issue just pop up. Let me just ping it. I'll add it to your doc below the important soon, which was the 71132. I was to ask. It's marked as important soon, and it just showed up on 113. So yeah, if you could just follow up and follow up with the owner to see if it's really needed and if the fix is going to go in by today, that'll be great.
Yeah, I just had a look. It's opened like a few hours ago. So the owner is like he can approve the PR himself. He's one of the core maintainers. It looks like it doesn't pass the tests, but he's openly working to it. We can check on it tomorrow. I can ping him today. Yeah, it's to remind the code freeze.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, Nico. And any questions for Nico before we quickly move on? Okay. Next up, docs.
Hey, everybody. There's not many updates since Wednesday here, really. Going to be working on the docs generation today, and hopefully should have something up. Yeah, still need to push on the completed PRs.
So the 15 PRs are open and I mean they are not yet merged, right? So
yeah, not yet merged. So and completed PRs are ones which are going to be kind of in review currently. I think there might be a few more completed which are ready for review, but just the way I've been measuring it has been like whether or not it's still on hold or work in progress. So it might just be that they're incorrectly labeled. So I just need to follow up with the PR authors.
Cool. Yeah, you might also want to cross-check. I don't know if you already did it. Which of these are for enhancements that fell out?
Oh, that's already done. Yeah, okay. I've been taking them out as they go.
Awesome. Cool. And yeah, as always, let me know if you need me to ping any of the owners for anything.
Sure thing. Yeah.
I'm happy to follow up on that. Cool. Release notes, Mike?
What's up, y'all? How's it going? Happy Friday, happy code freeze. I have 3 things today, release team. If you notice any known issues with the release, especially now, there's a few things that are popping up where things are either being removed from the release in kind of an incomplete fashion, or things are changing at the last minute, like Windows is not being marked stable in 113, even though it like has, and things like this that are just changing towards the end of the release. There's a link to an issue in the doc. Just flag it on there, and that's just like the one source of truth that we'll use to make sure that the known issues list is accurate. So keep an eye out. If you see something, say something. The New York City subway says. The other thing is we're still hunting for major themes, haven't really gotten that many yet. Dave sent out another email today asking SIG leads for more, reminding them to fill in their themes. On Monday, we're going to start pinging SIG leads directly on Slack and asking them to fill that in. And, we still have another week and a half or so until that's, hard required. So hopefully we can get as many as possible in by then. And my only other update today is I'm going to be out next week. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything release notes related, reach out to Dave, who's at Strebel on Slack. He's Shadow this release, was Shadow last release, and he'll be release notes lead next release. So he's more than qualified to help with any problems that come up.
Awesome. Cool. So I will follow up with Dave next week if he needs any help picking folks. Great. And comms, I don't see Caitlin on the call, but I sent her a note yesterday just to figure out what else she might need from us at this point to put the blog post together. And I also notified her about the enhancements that fell off, especially Windows. yeah, hopefully we'll hear more from her in the next week's burn downs. Other than that, as for announcements, yeah, the GitHub issue for 1.14 release team just went live yesterday, and there's already a lot of traction on that. So go ahead and leads nominate who you think would one of your shadows if you want them to be leads next time. Shadows also, please go ahead and express your interests as you wish. We're also seeing a lot of new folks being interested to be part of the release team. There's also a link there to a PR that's talking about a selection process for shadows. It's something that we are trying to pilot next release. Josh and Stephen are running with it just to see how far we can make that happen. But yeah, for irrespective of that, please chime in on the issue if you want to be on the release team next cycle. And yeah, as the retro doc is up again, up as usual. The retro is scheduled for 12/6, and I'm hoping that we can still hit the date. So please leave comments there of what went well, what didn't, and so that we'll have some good retro discussions. That's about it from me. Any other questions, feedback before we call it? Cool. In that case, let's all have 7 minutes back. And thanks a lot, team, once again. And I think from next week, the burn down is every day. Yes. So I'll hope to see you guys more frequently. Have a good Friday and a great weekend. Bye all.